Hey, it's Jay Scott with Gunstock Photos. Today out here on the range, I'm going to be working with a pistol called the SCCY pistol, SCCY Industries. This is an American-made concealed carry 9mm, made down in Florida. Basically, the product comes in this nice little cardboard box. So let's open up, see what we got here. First of all, it comes with a limited lifetime warranty, which is pretty good on a pistol like this. If you have any problems, just send it back to the factory, which also, by the way, is transferable. So if you ever sell the gun, it transfers to the next owner. Instruction manual. Let's see, we've got a once fired case included with it. Gun comes with 2 magazines with an extension on them. Also comes with the regular base pad, so if you don't want the extension, you can put the regular base pads. That'll help with concealability. Has a trigger lock included with it. So let's go ahead and we'll drop out this magazine. And let's go ahead and unlock it here real quick so we can get at the gun, make sure it's unloaded, obviously. Trigger lock just comes like so. So let's go ahead and check the gun, make sure it's unloaded. All right, good, we've got an unloaded gun. All right, so this is the SCCY pistol. Now, it's pronounced SCCY, it's spelled SCCY. This is the second version of this gun. This is the CPX-2. CPX-1 came out a couple of years ago. CPX-2 does not have a manual safety. The CPX-1 did have a manual safety. This gun has a suggested retail MSRP on it of about $319, I believe. So this is a gun that is aimed at the entry market of concealed carry. The company actually even makes their own magazines in-house. These hold 10 rounds of 9mm. Some of the things that on this particular gun is it has a recoil pad back here. Basically, these cuts that are in the back give some separation between the back strap and the rest of the grip. There's no interchangeable back straps on these or anything. Obviously, you're not going to get that in this price point, but this is supposed to reduce felt recoil a little bit. A couple of the things that I like about it are the large sights. They're fixed sights. The rear sight is adjustable for windage with a set screw. If you need an elevation adjustment, you're going to have to go with either a lower rear sight or a taller front sight. The gun is a hammer. It's not a striker fired, but rather it does have a hammer. It's a double action only. Every time you pull the trigger, you are cocking the hammer. So it does have a fairly long trigger pull. I've been told it's about 9 pounds. And we're going to check that in a minute here with our trigger pull gauge. But it's about a 9-pound trigger pull on it. All right, so let's check the trigger pull, do a couple other things, and then we'll try shooting it. All right, let's go ahead and check the trigger pull on the SCCY. First thing I want to do is always make sure that it is empty. Chamber's empty, no magazine in the gun. Go ahead and put our trigger pull gauge on the trigger here. Try to get it right about the middle where my finger would normally go. And let's see what we've got. Okay, that broke it just about right at 9 pounds. A lot of times with these type of guns, with this type of trigger system, if you're using a trigger pull gauge, you got to watch where you put it. You can get quite a bit different readings depending on where you put it on the gun. All right, that was about 9 pounds that time. So we're right at about what the factory does claim in terms of the trigger pull weight. All right, so today we're just going to do a little bit of testing with the gun. Today I've got some Fiocchi 9mm 115 grain round nose. All right, so let's load up a couple rounds. We'll set up a target and we'll see what we can do with it. All right, we're going to go ahead and function fire the gun. We're going to put some 115 Fiocchi round nose through it first. Go ahead and load up the gun. All right, so let's see what we can do. Okay, so that was first shot, fairly close to my point of aim. Not bad for a first shot on it. It is a long trigger pull. It is a bit heavy. but if you just have good trigger discipline, obviously, should be fairly accurate. Let's see what we can do with the next couple. All right, there we go. There's 5 on the target. Again, fairly heavy trigger pull, long trigger pull. We're at probably about 7 yards here for this type of gun. That's not a bad group right there. Let's go ahead and try some Federal hollow points here, a little bit different bullet profile. Put about 2 or 3 rounds through here, see if we have any issues. All right, so let's go ahead and try a couple of the Federal hollow points, see where we get. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and shoot from concealment here. This is a concealed carry gun. I'm using a Bianchi holster here. It fits the Bianchi holster quite well. Very nicely made leather holster with a belt clip inside the waistband. So let me go ahead and get this put on, and then we'll do a little bit of shooting with it.
Good to go.
Okay, so I've got my Bianchi holster on, gun in the holster. As you can see with a simple concealment shirt, it conceals very well. Basically, got it as a side draw. And let's go ahead and put a couple rounds. What we're going to do, shoot around the barricade, put a couple rounds on each target, and go from there. All right, so we got a couple of rounds in. Not the greatest, not the best of trigger control on that. I got an Alpha Charlie on the far target there, and it looks like I have 2 Charlies over here. So a little bit low. Let me try again, see if I can do a little bit better on my trigger work with it. All right, that's a little bit better. Looks like I got another Alpha Charlie on the first target, and Alpha Charlie on the second target. This Charlie, though, is much higher on the target. All right, that's gonna do it for us today out on the range today with the CPX Generation 2 Sky pistol. All in all, seems like a fairly good pistol. Fit and finish seems to be pretty good. Concealable handgun. I've got it with a simple cover garment right now. It's in a Bianchi holster. Conceals pretty well. We did shoot some round nose. We also shot some hollow point and a couple of round nose reloads through it, and all of those fed fine. Takedown on these is pretty simple. You just pop out the takedown lever on the side, slides, comes straight off the front. It's got a captured recoil system, so the springs don't go flying away on you. This version, the first version of this pistol did have an external thumb safety. The second version does not. Apparently they had quite a few problems with that first generation. They seem to have cured that in this gun. Fits my hand pretty good. I like the extension on the magazine. Comes with 2 10-round magazines. MSRP is about $319 on it. It does have a fairly long trigger pull. We measured that right about 9 pounds. If you need an inexpensive carry gun, this is probably one to take a look at. But again, always test with at least a few hundred rounds of whatever ammo you're going to actually carry in a gun before you start depending on it. So we'll do some further testing as we go forward and see how we do. All right, this is Jay Scott with Gunstock Photos. That's it for us at the range today.